Now, Steve in Weston-super-Mare thinks I'm biased. Let's hear why. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, George, I actually agree with your views on America and Bush. It's not what I disagree with. I mean, I agree that you want to help bring peace to the Middle East, but I feel that the approach you're taking isn't one of conflict resolution. It's one of actually stirring up more sectarian hatred.
Do you think there's any more sectarian hatred required?
I think we need less of it from you as well.
Do you think that what's happening in Gaza is because of me?
No, but I think you're adding to the whole scenario of it across the world.
Am I telling any untruths, Steve?
I believe you mean well.
Steve, am I telling any untruths?
I haven't heard, and I don't know. But
well,
what I'm
no,
saying...
I think the answer to that is no, I'm not telling any untruths. If I were, you'd no doubt be identifying them right now. How can telling the truth be incitement to hatred?
George,
Go ahead, Steve.
If you want to resolve a conflict, you have to look at the grievances of both sides. If you only look at one side, you're stirring up sectarian hatred.
What are the grievances of the Israeli side?
They're surrounded by 300 million Arabs who want to wipe them out.
Are you seeing any signs at the moment of the Arab countries trying to wipe Israel out?
Well, yes.
Are you telling me?
That was their direct policy.
No. I'm talking about the 300 million Arabs that surround them, okay? That, of course, stretches from Morocco on the Atlantic Ocean to Bahrain in the Persian Gulf. That's a very long way, not quite surrounding, Steve. I'm not sure that surrounding quite geographically describes it. But is there a single Arab state doing anything against Israel at this point in time?
I agree with you, there isn't.
Right.
But the thing is, you have to look at the other side. I'm not saying that the Jews have done a lot of bad things.
Well, you see, you say something that I would not say. The word Jews never crosses my lips. This has nothing to do with Jews. This is to do with Israel, which is a settler state set up by the empire, Britain, and now buttressed in every conceivable way by the new empire, the United States of America. It is a foreign settler state. Palestine has been wiped off the map. You talk about grievances on both sides. There's two groups of people. One of them has established a state on the other's land. They've wiped the name of the previous country off the map. They've scattered the people of that previous country to the four corners of the earth, where most of them live lives of absolute misery, in exile, statusless, without passports, without rights, living whether they're living in neighbouring Arab states or scattered even further beyond than that. You're not seriously, Steve, equating the grievances of the Palestinians with the people who took their country, are you?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
The answer to that, I'm not saying it's my point of view. The Israeli then, use the right terminology, the Israeli point of view will be that they were the original inhabitants of that land. That's their belief.
When, Steve?
Well, it's well recorded in history in the Roman Empire.
Are you seriously phoning up on a Saturday night in Britain in 2007 and asserting a territorial claim from the Roman Empire? What would the world look like, Steve, if everybody went back to where they were in the Roman Empire and kicked out the people who were there and said, this is my land because my ancestors were here in the Roman Empire? Steve, are you having a laugh?
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that's my view. I'm saying that is the other side, that is the...
Well, if it is, and I'm not sure even that there's any Israeli who would come on and assert their rights back to the Roman Empire. I'm not sure that they would. But if they did, they would be laughed at, Steve. They would be laughed out of court. Because, of course, the world would be unrecognizable if everybody could go back to where they were 2,000 years ago and say, this is mine. And moreover, you've got to go. You've got to leave. And the house you're living in, which wasn't built in the Roman Empire, but was built last year, is now mine. Because this land was mine at the time of the Roman Empire.
You're a warmonger, and you're stirring up violence.
That's the mask slips, Steve.
You're a warmonger.
That's really what you phoned up to say, Steve, wasn't it, Mr. Reasonable? Well, we'll hear what the listeners think of who the warmongers really are.